Junior, what's going on, brother?
How you doing?
Good, man. Good. Just hanging out on a Monday night. Pre Valentine's Day. So for any dudes out there that make sure you remember tomorrow is Valentine's Day.
Yeah, that'd probably be a good idea.
Yeah, most definitely. So tonight we have brought in the Operation Autocross page. In addition to the OSS page, both YouTube and Facebook. And so what we're doing tonight is we got some pretty big announcements. I know the Clarksville Autocross crowd has been just chomping at the bit for some information on this season. And yeah, it's exciting. So wow. Brian says, "What up, Skippy?" And then he also says to boycott Valentine's Day and say buy nothing for tomorrow. So
that is definitely not going to fly with my wife. I can tell you that.
I kind of feel like that is a risk that some might be willing to take, but if they are willing to take that, you got to be ready for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, more money to spend on the car, right?
Exactly, but there might be a doghouse that might be hard to get out of.
Well, you got a nice new shop.
Yeah.
You'll be all right. I don't have a shop. So.
Well, so then you need to skip Valentine's Day so you can build your shop.
No.
Val, what's going on?
Hey, Val.
Brian says that he laid down the law when he got his. All right. Or when he got with Tanya. Tanya, if you're watching, can you confirm or deny and refute that claim? I'm curious to know. So, yeah, some pretty cool. Val's in KC. She's God, that's a really rough place to be considering yesterday's events with the Super Bowl. They're going to be on like a constant drunken fest for multiple days. So, couple things. All right. So let's start out. Let's get this thing going. I am going to present. We did a little bit of a screenshot with this picture for the Clarksville Autocross crowd. And if you're on our Clarksville Autocross or Operation Autocross folks, go ahead and chime in and post your comments here. Let's go ahead. I'm going to show this. I'm going to share this. All right. And let's see, right. Oh. Oop. Hold on just a second. All right, so I'm having some technical difficulties, so bear with me for a minute on that. I am not exactly the most well-versed individual when it comes to doing all that kind of fun.
I got all night, dude.
Yeah, our viewers too. They got all night. If you're watching, make fun of me. That's cool. I apologize.
All right. Well, we know Val's got all night because she's just hanging out in KC. So
yeah. Yes.
And Brian doesn't have anything to do. So
I know it. All right, let's get to operating. I know. Hey, someone Paul needs a 10-to-1 box for Valentine's Day. We can get you scored. Thanks, Val. I suck. There we go. Oh, my PowerPoint game. Jeff Mackins says my PowerPoint game's on point. Honestly, it's not. It has been so long since I've been well versed in PowerPoint. I take that statement with pride. All right, here we go. Boom. So if you're watching out there in Facebook land, here are the dates that we have. April 2nd, it's our season opener. May 7th. June 24th is going to be a clinic. That's on a Saturday. We'll have another clinic like we did last year.
You guys had a good turnout there too, didn't you?
Yeah, we did. We sold that clinic out. We would need more instructors to be able to do any more folks or, have any more slots. We're taking a break in the summer though. July, we are going to be just running everywhere between July and August. So July and August, we're going to be sitting Camaro Fest, potentially a couple of Good Guys events. And then August, we got King of the Mountain and a couple other things going on. So we're keeping July and August, and then we're going to open back up for September 17th, October 22nd, and then our season finale will be November 11th, Veterans Day. That will also be a Saturday event. So we're going to be able to pull in that one Saturday event at the end of the year, last one of the season. So hopefully the weather's good. But that is the schedule for this year's Operation Autocross. Did a little bit of a rebranding this year. You can see the new logo.
Nice.
And big shout out to Redline Synthetic Oil for their sponsorship for Operational Speed Supply and everything we're doing. Also want to give a big shout out to Chris Wheatcraft, who is center stage of this photo. So Chris, if you're watching, beautiful car, awesome driving. He's one of our top 3 every year. What we're running, when we run these events, and does quite well in other places too. So that want to give a shout out to Chris. So that's the schedule for this year. Now, Junior, I've been talking quite a bit lately, man.
Yeah, a little bit.
What are your plans on the race season?
I'm just gonna run whatever I can. So I'm pretty much open as far as our schedule.
Yeah.
So that gives me a lot of flexibility and freedom.
Nice.
To kind of just float around and do what I can. So
all right.
I'll be around.
Well, it's funny you bring that up. So we have Junior and I've been talking quite a little bit, and this is what we've come up with. Junior and I will be co-driving the Camaro this year. It will look a little bit different when we get finished. We got a new look coming. We got some work done, getting done to it, getting ready to pull that thing apart. It's going to have more motor. It's going to have a little bit lowered stance, and we're going to be getting after it, man.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. That'll be fun, exciting, and just looking forward to having fun.
So yeah, man, it's going to be definitely exciting. So all right, so Eric Chadwick asked what the price is going to be to run this year. So this year, we are doing $70 per event this year. Pricing structure will be 70 to drive, 30 to ride, and 10 to spectate for this year's events at Operation Autocross. So it'll be a good season. We're limited some of the events because we want to maintain that high level of attendance that we get. We've figured out how to get people 8+ runs on a 6 hours worth of driving time. And so we want to maintain that.
You guys did very well with that last year.
Yeah, and we want to keep that going. I mean, I know you came down. You came down for the October event
and the spring event.
The spring event too. The spring event was a huge turnout. So
yeah, and I got all 8 runs both times. I mean, you guys were very efficient.
Oh yeah, we figured it out. Like towards the end of the season, there were guys that were getting 13, 14, 15 runs in a day. So we had one guy. He's like, yeah, I burned up my tires today. I'm like, wow, all right, awesome. Yeah. So come out, race with us. It's going to be a great time. We're definitely looking forward to it. And if we're not running an event, it's we're going to be down in Nashville with good guys this year. We're going to be up at UMI Motorsports Park for a couple events. We're going to be at Camaro Fest, which we will be sponsoring Camaro Fest Autocross, and we're going to be helping those guys out with getting that thing, making that as best we can. So please meet us to race, whether we're running the race or whether we're out there racing ourselves. Come out and hang out. But yeah, Junior. So what? You drove the Camaro last October. What were your thoughts last year?
It was definitely a different beast than Mark Gullivan's C5 Silver Bullet.
Yeah, Mark's C5 is probably a little more refined.
In some ways, yes. The Camaro was definitely what do you want to say? More in my wheelhouse, I guess. Just my background and driving style.
Well, you coming from that circle track background.
Yeah. And that just I don't know, that it just was a little bit more familiar.
Yeah.
The C5 definitely, huge shout out to Mark for giving me the opportunity to get my feet wet and to have some fun with you guys. I couldn't be more thankful for what he allowed me to do with that car. And same to you for this coming season, with your car. But I mean, the Camaro, it was just more familiar.
Yeah.
And hopefully, the learning curve won't be as steep. I can be a little bit more, comfortable and, in the game a little bit.
Yeah.
Right out of the gate. The C5, I had a lot more learning curve. I felt like, the events that I was able to run back to back,
Mm-hmm.
I was more familiar with the car, was able to, push it a little bit harder because I knew where I was. But the events where I was spread out more, I had to go back and start back at almost ground zero and
Yeah.
relearn. The Camaro has a lot more in common with what I'm used to driving
Yep.
competitively. So I'm hoping that I won't be you know as slow.
Yeah.
The goal is to always get faster.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
definitely, man.
but I mean, I felt like I was decent in the Corvette. I felt like I did what I wanted to do, as far as, compete and, learn some of the ropes and get involved more.
Yeah.
So that was all good. So I'm just looking for, looking to, you know, better what I did last year and see what happens.
Dude, I'm excited about this. And one of the things last year that was it last year that yeah, it was last year. I was able to get your guys' pump and your steering box on the car, and that made a world of difference.
Yep.
Um, there was no more whiny pump sound after the end of a run because the thing was just overheating and getting crazy. But here's the other thing: the other thing that we're gonna do that this year before we kick off the season is we're throwing some Viking double adjustables on this thing. It's going to be getting the Crusaders on it, and that should hopefully make a huge difference too in trying to dial this thing in with different tracks. Um,
Yeah.
you know, not only are we moving to that, but Chris Brown is moving to a set of Viking double or triple adjustables on his Mustang. So
Oh, yeah.
we're gonna have quite a few of us on these same shocks. And another awesome thing is
Doesn't Brian have like those quads on his
Brian's got
front?
the triples on his. Yep, he's
Okay.
still running triples on his. He hasn't
Okay.
stepped to the quad game yet. But he's got the triples on his, and he will be running those, or he's continuing to run those again this year. Tim is also running the set of the doubles on his Camaro on his 5th gen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, man. And another exciting bit of news is next Monday, Chris King from Viking will be on with the SITREP, and we're going to have a conversation about shocks.
Nice.
So that should be an awesome episode too.
Yeah.
But I think the big thing, man. So looking at these events that we've got kind of laid out locally here and what we're planning on running this year, I definitely think that I think you and I will be able to run at least 4 or 5 of these together.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope
So
so.
I know that we've talked about you coming down for one of the local events, get kind of reacclimated to the car, but then we both talked about Muscle on the Mountain.
Yep.
And we're both set up for that. And then we're waiting on the list to come out, waiting on Ryan and company to publish that list for King of the Mountain. But we're hopeful that we'll be back on the stage again, and we'll see what we can do. I can tell you this, man. Anytime I've ever co-drove a car, I have done better at that event than than when I'm not co-driving.
That's
So
bad news for me.
yeah. Well, I'll tell you, man. So Hector came down and we co-drove together at Nashville Good Guys last year.
Oh, okay.
And, being able to watch each other run and kind of see the course from a different angle and watch what the car's doing from the outside helps reaffirm what it's doing when you're inside the car. And it makes it a little bit more it just gives you a little bit more confidence in making adjustments and things. And it really allows you to dial that car in from multiple angles.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's exciting, man. I'm definitely looking forward to it. So
yeah,
we've had a few new folks pop up. So throw this back out there real quick. We're going to share this. The season for this year, yeah, right here. All right, guys. April 2nd, May 7th, June 24th, September 17th, October 27th, and November 11th for the Clarksville Speedway Operation Autocross events. So big shout out to Clarksville Speedway for giving us a place to do it. Redline Oil for sponsoring the team. And then the Operational Speed Supplies Operation Autocross for this year. So, Junior, impressions on the car last year. What towards the end of the year, we ran it quite a bit that day when you guys came down here in October.
Mhm.
And you said earlier the car's a little bit more into your wheelhouse. So what are some impressions on how it drove? And I bring this up now because we get ready to put these Vikings on. You're going to have a different car. You're going to have to relearn the car again. And I'm curious to, initial impressions that you had of it now compared to what we're going to look at on the back end when we get it done.
Well, I mean, you and I talked a little bit. The back end just kind of felt a little numb to me.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as overall, handling wise, it was more conventional of a setup, which is what I'm pretty familiar with
Yeah.
from a circle track background. That world is a completely different ballgame, but nowadays at least. But back when I was running, everything was pretty much conventional setup. They didn't do the bump stops and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But the way the car responded, throttle wise, when the back end started to slide out a little bit, I was able to modulate that with the independent rear. That's something that's completely new to me. So finding the boundaries of that was very intimidating, if I can say that. Just knowing what to do when the back end steps out and what to expect and how to modulate that is completely different from a straight axle rear end suspension. That was probably my biggest hurdle. It was my biggest hurdle, with the C5 was figuring that out. And I drove that car for I think it was 6 events. Got quite a few runs at all the events. And I still couldn't quite figure it out.
Yeah.
So driving something like that takes a long time. To get comfortable with, a lot of repetition. And that's just something that, I don't have.
Yeah.
So having something I'm familiar with, gives me a good baseline to start with. But as far as how the car handled, it felt like turning was really good. It felt like it was always a little edgy in the back. So hopefully those new shocks, get us somewhere. Get us a little bit more grip out of the back. But
I think there's that, and the other thing I want to try to play with this year is a little bit of sway bar work.
Sway bar can be good.
No, then the thing is with the third gen is they made like 5 different sway bars for the back of that thing depending on what model you bought, whether it was a Berlinetta or a Z28, the IROC Z28. They all had a slightly different thickness of sway bar, and so I need to do a little bit of hunting. I think eBay's a good place to go hunt some stuff like that down, but you get a hold of a couple different, thicknesses of sway bar, a little bit stiffness difference, and different tracks could respond very well to that. And I think it's a fairly simple swap to change that thing out on jack stands. It's 4 bolts.
And it's out.
4 bolts and 2 links. It's done.
Right. Sway bar adjustment in the rear can either help you or hurt you. It's one of those. It's an easy thing to play with. I think once we get the shocks dialed in, moving forward from there would be a good game plan.
Yeah,
Doing too many things at once, you always wonder what, you get kind of, the waters get kind of muddied because you don't really know what adjustment made a difference.
No, man, you're supposed to grab a handful of darts and throw them all at the wall at once.
Oh, is that how you do it?
Yeah, I mean, that's
how I'd like to do it sometimes.
Exactly, that's what I thought. And, Chris tells me, get a splined rear bar, make it adjustable quickly. That's a good point. I definitely would love that. I think that would help a ton. The other thing too is with the car, I've got the UMI's competition rear panhard bar, and so with that, we can make track bar adjustments on the spot. Now, it's not as quick as at NASCAR or anything like that, but
just put some screw jacks in through the back window.
Yeah, exactly. But we definitely can make some adjustments with that depending on how the car feels. And I think I did not touch that last year. I set it and I left it alone to try to figure out to drive around the car. And I think there's something to be said for learning how to drive a car with how it drives.
Oh yeah.
Opposed to just trying to chase it all day long.
Oh yeah.
But I definitely think that there is plenty of speed and plenty more rear grip to find in that thing. And I think we're going to be able to find it this year.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the path that you've kind of set is a good path.
Yeah, definitely. And it's exciting. Matt Burney says they need to get a second for him as far as what we do. Well, Matt, we'll square you away, man. We get to UMI, we'll just trade sway bars and just we'll have a sway bar stash.
He's basically running the same thing you are, isn't he?
Yeah, he does. A couple minor differences in setup on car, mainly that I've kind of gone full retard with mine, and he hasn't quite gotten there yet. But I will tell you this: Matt's car is one of the. It's one of the most well put together third gens.
It was very clean.
I would put it on par with the Dragon Lady GTA as far as how good of a build that thing is. Matt's car is beautiful, very well done, and other big thing, bring this out, Matt. I hope you don't mind, but him and his wife just had a baby a few days ago, so we want to big congrats out to Matt Burney on their new addition. So it's exciting. So we'll hopefully see we'll see that new addition at a track near you. But yeah, so it's a very similar car. So yeah, Matt and I do share a lot of information. Like when we were at UMI this year, we were able to talk course together, and the cars respond both very similar.
Oh, that's good.
I think I got a little bit more of a radical motor than he does, so there's probably a less tendency for him to have oversteer than mine. But he's still running some big. He's running some big meets on that with a set of the welds, running an 18x10.5, and so he's got a lot of tire. He's running 315s as well. Very subtle differences about the cars, but he's very well put together car.
Nice.
So it's exciting, man. Definitely exciting.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Paul says congrats. How much do you for the car? Oh man, that's too funny. This is Matt's second child, so yeah, it's definitely awesome for him. Definitely congrats. But yeah, man, so I think this year's going to be a lot of fun, man. I'm looking forward to getting you down here. Hopefully sooner than later.
I hope so. If like I said the other day, if that second's open, I'll be there.
Yeah, man, it's definitely going to be open. And if you could make Nashville good, guys, that's another one I would put on the thing to do. Middle of May. And the big thing. Yeah, man. The big thing with that is that they're going to be using they use the road course at Nashville Super Speedway for part of that, so it turns into a track X. I mean,
that'd be fun.
Last year I was coming through the lights at third gear at about 85 miles an hour.
Oh,
it was fast.
Nice.
So it was one of those courses that you're getting into second gear quick, and you're staying at the top of second gear for most of it until the end, and then you're hitting third. So
nice.
Yeah, Matt says formula and diapers are expensive. Yes, they are. Yeah. Just go to Cloth, Matt, and pass on that responsibility of cleaning them to your wife. That's, Hey, wait, Matt, isn't the Be a Man guy from Boston? You're up near there, so hey, be a man. Make your wife clean cloth diapers.
Oh wow!
Don't take my advice.
That sounds like real bad advice.
My wife's over here staring at me like you're gonna get this dude in trouble. Oh man. Well, right on. Well, Junior, I'm glad you could come on tonight, man. And I'm gonna
Thanks for having me.
for everybody out there in Facebook land, we're gonna share the updates to Operation Autocross, the season for this year, and put all the information out. And we cannot wait to see you all out there at the track. It's going to be an awesome season. We're definitely looking forward to it. And both here and afar, it's going to be a good time. Right on. All right. Well, all of you in Facebook land, thank you for reaching out and watching and hanging out with us tonight. And tomorrow, or we'll have that stuff posted up tonight. And as always, if you are building your hot rod, call us. We can get you set up with Turn 1. We can get you set up with Redline, UMI, you name it, Viking. We've got you set up. So give us a call for your build. We're going to get you, we'll help get you set up to where you are on the road and on the track as soon as we can possibly get you there. All right, guys. Thanks again for tuning in. Junior, as always, it's good to see you, brother.
Yeah, you too. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Definitely, man.